welcome back to another UX review. Another name and shame edition of the UX review, to be specific. I think you're all familiar with Newsweek or sites like this. Basically, another big reason why everybody hates advertising is because of sites like Newsweek. So I'm going to give it a hard refresh, but before I give it a hard refresh, I want to address the elephant in the room. These are personalized ads. They're not Amazon, but I know they're personalized because this object is something that I actually buy sometimes. I have a lot of old, actually maybe not this specifically, come to think of it, but I do have a lot of USB whatever A or whatever to USB-C connectors in my house, or micro USB mini to USB-C connectors in my house. I don't know what the hell this is or any of that, but this thing seems like a decent attempt to add personalization for me. So a little bit of credit before we do a refresh. Let's go. Okay. Lazy loaded the ads. I get the same ones. That's kind of strange. I did a refresh and that happened. Here we go. This is a auto-playing ad. So I didn't even... This is an article I saved a long time ago. I guess not a long time ago. It was in December. But I don't want your video to autoplay. Flat out. I don't want auto-playing ads specifically as well. So that's a big negative right there, right off the bat. Also, I think you guys should be able to see this. Wow. You want to talk, I think I complained last time about the number of trackers that a site had. We're at 113 at least on this site. Here's their Google Tag Manager. We've got all sorts of stuff. Every pixel under the sun. Criteo, that's an ads platform. BlueKai, this is a famous third-party data company. AppNexus, third-party data company. Even though these aren't Amazon ads, they do have Amazon on here. Everything under the sun. So, think about all of these trackers. Again, if you're somebody who values privacy or thinks that because you have deleted yourself off certain social media channels, that means you're not being tracked, I've got bad news for you. A site like Newsweek is host to more manipulative and potentially damaging advertising as well as tracking than a lot of your social media sites. Or I guess maybe I would just say Google. Hey Simplify, hi. Anyways, okay. So this is not a bad spot right here. And I'm not a huge fan of this top nav. I mean, it's too big. Look how ugly this is. You've got their header, you got their nav bar, which actually doesn't look that bad. And then you've got their content, which would look real nice kind of paired right up to it. But instead, you get this really ugly ad, and part of what's ugly about it is that the size is variable, the content doesn't match the theme. So everything about the ad is variable. And the thing is to deliver programmatic ads, not that I am a UX, I have not built websites for, that deliver ads programmatically myself. However, it feels to me, just from a user experience, that if you designed in some... and here's the thing, we see it with other spots. So this spot right here, even though this spot does have dynamically shifting advertising, it's not ugly. It fits in with the theme, and all of the ads that it serves stay in the same size range that it is. And look, it was even HTML5. It's even a dynamic ad in that it can, do animations and stuff. So the problem is not that it can't be done. Period. The problem is just people aren't doing it. So you get this. Very ugly at the top. And how offensive, also. Can I be honest with you? If you're imagine you're the designer of Newsweek. You're a part of the design team. You came up with this whole theme, and you know, you've worked on branding your whole life, and you've got this beautiful idea for a newspaper, and you get somebody just comes in and goes, we're gonna make some revenue. I need a dynamic spot that just, and honestly, and to talk a little shit, it hasn't refreshed. I know I say I don't like it when ads refresh, but my God, if you're gonna take up such a prominent portion of my screen because you're variable, this spot might fill in with different types of ads, and you know, might be wider or whatever. Anyways, I'm upset about this, so let's continue. So yeah, then we got the auto playing ad right here. 114 trackers. Now this stickies with me, which I don't like, because you have a sidebar here. So it's on. Look at this kind of aggressive, sticky. This ad had shown up in this spot. This didn't show up until I moved down the page. Another kind of example of lazy loading. In some ways it's positive, in other ways it is manipulative. In that initially when this page loads, if I'm a bot, I don't even see this as a placement because it wasn't there. So, I mean, there's kind of a bit of manipulation to doing stuff like that. Again, this is sticky. So I'm looking at the. First off, I'm not a huge fan of this website, but I was looking at this sidebar to see what was there, and this starts covering what I can see. Just aggressive, and the same thing happens with the video. And it feels to me a bit like these are. Like, how do I put this? This is being done programmatically. It doesn't matter what article you have. This is going to happen every single time. On the website, and it's just kind of okay. So I don't mind this. I really don't. That's not that bad. The sticky shit is, I mean, this is, look how much of my, okay, and if we hit right here, how much of our view is advertising and we can't see, there's no content of any kind. Here's our content. Was it necessary? Here, you have an ad, and then boom, you have another ad right here. Can't go very far, and we get another ad. Again, we're looking at a page where most of it is taken out by advertising. Another ad. Bad sizing. Ugly, you know. Who is this one? Who's doing this? I'm not even shopping for a car, by the way. So, I mean, maybe I like electric cars, but it's really not on me at all. It's okay. It's an iframe. It's an amp iframe, so I'm already guessing that it's a Google ad or somebody. You have Google syndication, so it's a Google ad. Google, I gotta call you out on this, guys. I gotta be honest with you, man. And I don't know if it's, you know, maybe it's the UX, maybe it's the design people of the website that aren't putting in a hard size or the right size. But if it's Google, I mean, and I suppose I could probably figure this out on stream, and maybe if I'm going to keep calling this out, I should probably at some point, you know, figure out whose fault it is. But I hate the fact that you have all this space and you fill it in with this little square. And look, it's so I mean, maybe that was a coincidence. It could be the developers. I hope it's them because, you know, Google, I'm seeing a lot of Google ads that are the wrong size. And Google is constantly telling its advertisers to give it all sorts of file sizes so it can go do whatever it wants with those file size. And you assume that it's being smart with it. But if it's taking, well, and hey, let me back that up. I bet the jarring experience of this potentially adds value to the ad. I mean, to a degree, users are seeing past ads to look at the content, and we're not in, it's not 1999. People have been with the internet for a long time. Even older people are far more distinguishing when looking at content. And so you wonder, okay, no, see, there we go. It's the wrong size. Wow. And this is dynamic. So this is actually on the Newsweek developers. They just switched out a Google ad with their own. That's by Smarts, I think. This is not a Google ad. Look at this theming. This looks like it's sponsored in the site. I guarantee you that takes us off site. So it's not going to keep us on Newsweek. It's still an ad, but it's much more of a native ad, not a Google ad. So what's happening is Newsweek, to me it feels like they have a team of ads guys on that are deciding these things, that ads are going to be sticky, videos are going to be sticky. All of our ad placements are going to be dynamic, so the Newsweek website can decide to switch out a Google ad with an ad from a different advertiser. But here's the point, or an ad network, but here's the point. They're the ones who don't care that it doesn't fit into the size that it's supposed to. So shame on you, Newsweek. That's going to get taken off your grade. That was an easy way for me to figure out that it was you and not Google's fault. So for people taking notes, Google up, Newsweek down. Let's continue. Broken ad. Supposed to be an ad right here. Doesn't work. Very fun. The facts. The new Cadillac is amazing. I don't know. That kind of seems like journalistic. Seems like a journalistic issue, right there. What are the facts? That the new Cadillac is amazing. Jeez. Guys, I'm not buying a car. I'm not on the market. Another one. My God. Sticky. This stupid video we never wanted to watch is stuck with us as well. This banner is stuck with us as well. Boom. Tono clippers for seniors. Come on. And you're and the thing we haven't talked about yet in this video series is some of it, I'm using browsers that are pretty sandboxed for my activity. But I'm not using Tor. This has got my IP address that has a bunch of markers for me. People like to talk about fingerprinting, and everybody likes to talk about how sophisticated ad networks are and how the spying is so unreal. Well, let me just tell you from the perspective of somebody who does it for a living, this is not sophisticated. This delivery is garbage. None of this content is anywhere close to relevant to me. And we're dealing with every network under the sun that's tracking me and has identified me as a user on the site. And maybe I think the one at the top that was like a USB port was like the most relevant, and it wasn't. Maybe that was like a broken clock, right? Once a day or twice a day or whatever. Anyways, these ads suck, and it's Newsweek's fault. So we're gonna continue. They keep doing it. They're addicted. And I cut myself off earlier. Maybe the jarring experience causes click-through rates to go up or causes dwell to go up. Where dwell is just the time that you sit on an ad portion. And this video is already going to be long, and so I'm going to add another point to it. Dwell. Oh my God, what's dwell? Okay. Well, the content that you look at on the internet there's an overlay. Well, the browser can snoop on you a little bit because the browser knows what you're doing, but JavaScript creates kind of like a grid that you can imagine in your head, overlays the website and tracks everything you're doing on it. So the JavaScript grid is trying to match up to where I'm at as I'm scrolling, and specifically it's using my mouse to determine what I'm doing because the JavaScript can watch where the mouse is going, and so it may be scrolling. Sorry, again, I'm not a master JavaScript developer. However, they use my mouse or my scroll, the part I'm at on the website, in order to determine dwell, which is how long I'm seeing something. And if you're a master, UX optimizer, which hard for me to give Newsweek that type of credit considered what we've seen so far, but to make a counterpoint to what I was saying earlier, if jarring your users and creating this massive amount of white space around something creates more engagement with the ad, then I guess that's their job. So it's potentially an actual intentional choice, even though it's going to mark them down on UX quality. And that earlier we referenced this designer who does a pretty good job of making Newsweek look like an official, awesome website. And what a shame that it's almost like those two people are fighting against each other constantly. And that actually they are. And what you can see is at Newsweek, the ads team has won the fight. So we're still looking ugly. Wow, look at this site takeover we've got. My God. Okay. So I guess we're still in the ad season. I didn't realize. Or sorry, the political season. Anyways, yeah, I don't really care about this article. Okay, here we go. Yep, these are all native ads and they're animated. I mean, yes, advertisers use animation, but, you know, I don't know. These actually aren't bad. This is bad. But these aren't bad. And I think the reason this is here is because the native ads probably don't do very much for revenue. So you wanna splice in your ads that do well for revenue, because these are just more traditional spots. Fewer advertisers are aware of native ads or how they work, so you know they're probably less profitable. Again, these guys are just hacking this stuff in here. You know, I can imagine the UX person was probably like, oh, this is the spot where we're going to highlight articles that are relevant to our users, and they had this 3 wide. And then these ads guys came in here and they were like, oh, why don't we make one of those spots an ad, actually? Oh, this ad wants me. This ad is so interesting. Thinks these products are right up my alley. I mean, they're not. So, anyways, we get comments. That's a huge mistake to allow people to comment on your thing. Okay, and then here we go. I think these are actual Newsweek articles, and so this is kind of awesome in a way. They're doing this diligence to their ads and to other native spots where they're like, no, we really do have content for you down here. We are going to, yeah, we got this ad that's been following us. We really are going to benefit, you know, hey, what's some other relevant content? And then, yeah, editor stuff. Come on. Who's down here, guys? Who's down here? You didn't put any subscription stuff up here. I really don't feel like there's any subscription boxes throughout the entire thing until you get to the very end. So it's like they're more interested in driving ad revenue than subscriptions at this point. Digital ad free. Yeah, that's probably why. The ads guys have won at Newsweek. Let me just reiterate. I can't even see the footer, guys. I literally can't see the footer because your ads are in the way. I can close them. You're right. Wow. Do these even work? Probably. Anyways, okay. Let's give them a rating. UX. Rip the UX team at Newsweek. Honestly, I feel like you guys are trying. So I almost feel like this. Don't take this personally. This is me rating the ads guys, honestly. So the ads guys for the UX, I'm gonna give you guys a 3. I feel like that's being generous, to be honest with you. I feel like I feel like my heart wants that to be. You know what? 2. That's right. And for ads, I'll give you guys a 5. You know why? Because they shoved them down our throat, and a couple of them are okay. You know, that's hard. I mean, look, this is an out of 10 score. So, I may be crazy with the 2, but the ads, I think we saw a lot of them. And the only thing, I was upset about a lot of things, but, so we're going to, we're actually going to degrade that. It's a 4. Alright, UX2, ads 4, Newsweek's bad, and they should feel bad.